is a push to keep you in 3D. Haven't you heard that saying? Am I the only one that's hearing it? Oh, the new normal. Get ready for the new normal this and the new normal that. And, there's some celebrity voice behind it just to reinforce the rationality of it. Notice the language here. Notice the marketing. Notice the tactics that are being used right now to keep you in control, to keep you stuck in the third dimension, to keep you stuck in fear. It's just that simple, everybody. Right now, we are all a part of this great awakening. I know you felt it. I know you know what I'm talking about. Welcome. For those of you that are new, thank you for joining. This is the Infinite Cup Soul Line. This is a powerful energy transmission. And you can also call in right now, and I will answer your questions directly. What we're talking about today is the Great Awakening and this push for the new normal and the control of your consciousness to keep you locked up in fear so you will never experience who you truly are. Now, I don't know what you might have heard on the streets, but there is a global awakening happening right now on planet Earth. Just the fact that you clicked on this video right now tells me you are a part of the Great Awakening. You are here to help people wake up. We are all uncovering our truth, our gifts, unlocking higher consciousness. This is what this is all about. Now, there's techniques, there's guides, there's people right now that have already led the way. We are all just catching up to this beautiful new earth. We are creating the new earth right now. I know we've all experienced a glimpse, a tidbit, a little example, right, of what that new earth looks like. Now is our chance to embody that frequency. At the same time, you'll notice things look a little different outside, right? And I'm not going to use the words new normal to you because it's not my new normal. It's not really normal at all. What I see is a shift and a push. You got to remember, right? Like the more you wake up, the more the world gets fake. The more truth that you own, the more you are exposing what is fake. And things are going to seem a little different to you. Things are going to start to appear as if they were no longer having any value. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about the shift. And I know you have experienced it. A lot of you, I'm catching up in the comment section right now. This is the shift. Tell me right now, for those of you that are joining live, just tell me right now. I have felt the shift. Have you experienced it? I've asked you before, and I want people to know that this isn't just some mumbo jumbo, hippie stuff. This isn't just some new age lingo. I'm talking about energy. I'm talking about consciousness. Tell me right now, have you felt the shift? Just type it in. I have felt the shift because this is real. Now, what I'm talking about again is that shift from the mind to the heart. And again, the more we propel into this higher consciousness, the more we get into this great awakening, the more the forces, the evil forces, the darkness itself, the elite, the evil cabal, whatever, label you want to give them, that consciousness, that energy is always there, and it's going to propel and push even more. That's why you're seeing these words, the new normal, everywhere. That's why you're seeing celebrities come out rationalizing and normalizing, telling you it's all going to be okay and we're in this together, and these lies and brainwashing techniques to keep you in control because they know how powerful you really are. They know what's really going on. Their secret agenda, their elite, it's all coming to the surface right now. For those of you that have over on TikTok, there is a lot of people who are woke on TikTok. I am surprised. Honestly, the more I'm getting into that app, I'm like, wow. So if you're not following me on TikTok, make sure you go over there as well because there's a lot going on through understanding energy, understanding this great awakening, and people are exposing the elite. The truth is right in front of your eyes. Now, as we continue to grow and evolve spiritually, you will notice a push for the matrix, a push into making things more solidified into their reality, into their belief of what you should be doing with your life. Now, we cannot put our attention to that. We have to focus on the love. We have to focus on the light, focus on those positive vibrations, focus on those things that are creating the abundance, that are creating all of these techniques in the first place. We can't entertain the fear any longer. That's what this is all about. This is happening right now. We can't entertain the conspiracy theories. I know a lot of people right now that are talking about Bill Gates and talking about the mark of the beast and talking about this and that and, pedophiles and you name it. And we cannot give that energy. Okay, don't you understand? That's even more negativity. There's a difference between spreading awareness and creating the change. I'm talking about creating the change. We don't need to entertain the negativity that's going on right now. The people that want to know already know. We don't need to give it any more energy by posting about it and talking about it and gossiping about it. We're actually keeping that paradigm alive. What we're talking about are timelines right now. That fifth dimensional timeline is available to us. That consciousness is available to us right now. All we have to do is wake up. I know you have felt that energy. You've tasted it. Now we have to get the whole pie. Now we got to serve the whole main course to everybody. It's a beautiful experience when you start to embrace this journey. Now, again, we can't entertain the negative 3D. We have to push back with love. We have to retaliate with our positivity. Now, for those of you who don't know already, I'm not trying to get you into fear whatsoever. I just want you to know that there is a world war happening right now, and that is the war of consciousness. World War III is here. It's a very spiritual war. It's not what you might think. It's not a nuclear bomb type of war. There is no explosions that are going to happen. This isn't going to be as dramatic as you think it is on the surface. Although I can guarantee you this, on the inside, there is a massive war happening. And this battle right now is one of the biggest battles that we have ever experienced. And we need to win this one, family. We need to get past this shift of new normal and get into creating the new earth, the heart. That's what this is all about. Love. Not the mind, not fear, not the programs, not the agendas. I'm talking about digging into your heart, digging into what's real, what really matters in life. That's what this is all about. This is a massive shift in consciousness. It is real. And I want to thank you all for those of you that are doing the work right now. You've experienced the shift. You know what I'm talking about. And now we all have to do our part to create that new earth, to create this change. This is a beautiful process, and I want each and every one of you to know that you are not alone in this work. This work is for everybody. For those of you that don't know, I'm going to open up the Infinite Cup Soul Line. This is a brand new thing that I'm rolling out that I'm really excited about. This is something new for the Infinite Cup. What we're doing is channeling this energy and bringing it alive right now. So what you can do, you'll find in the link of this video, you will find the Zoom call. You can join me, call in, ask your questions directly. I'll have time for about 5 to 10 people, and we can really get to the bottom of what's going on right now. If you just want to share your experiences or ask me a direct personal question, I am here for you, okay? For those of you that don't know, I do one-on-one coaching. Check out theinfinitecup.com. If you want to do one-on-one coaching with me, if this is too personal and you don't want to come on the live stream, I totally understand. I also want all of you to know that your questions help everybody. So this is something that really helps all of us. It's not a question for you. It's really a question for the collective consciousness. So thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for opening up and taking the time, because I know this is not easy. This is something that we are all doing together for this collective path right now on planet Earth. So join me right now on the Zoom call. The Zoom link is live. I already have a few people in the chat right now. And again, I'll have room for about 5 to 10 people throughout this live stream. So if you feel the urge, please don't hesitate. Join me on the Zoom call. All you have to do is click in the description of this video. It's on patreon.com/theinfinitecup. And this is a beautiful process when everything unwinds. And let's get into what's really going on right now with 2020, because this is a big part of the Great Awakening. I'm going to open up the call line right now. Let's see who is available. Check, check. Hey,
Hey,
Becca, are
Becca,
you
are you
there? Can
there?
you
Can
hear
you hear
me?
me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
I
I
can.
can.
What's up?
How's it
How's
going?
it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing
I'm
great.
doing
Thanks
great.
for
Thanks for
taking the
taking the
time to
time
call
to
it. I know
call it. I
you've
know
been
you've been
waiting
waiting
patiently.
patiently.
No, it's good. Me and Beatrice have been having a good conversation.
Oh,
Oh,
wonderful.
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 Awesome. Well,
Awesome.
yeah,
Well,
I
yeah, I
just
just
wanted
wanted
to
to
throw the
throw the
microphone to
microphone
you.
to
You
you.
know, I'm
I'm
here for
here for
you. If you
you.
have
If
any
you have any
questions, don't
questions, don't
hesitate. Or if
hesitate.
you
Or if
just
you
want
just
to
want to
share your
share your
experiences or
experiences or
whatever's on
whatever's
your
on your
mind, just
mind,
go
just go
for it.
for it.
Um, okay. Well, I guess like what experience do you have with past life? That's a question I have for you.
Like
Like
what
what? Like
what
what?
it's
It's
what
what
was one of my
was one of
past
my past
lives,
lives,
or
or
just
just
the
the
experience
experience
of
of
remembering a
remembering a
past life?
past life.
Whatever you want to share.
Oh, okay,
Oh, okay,
great.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
past
Past
lives are
lives are
wonderful.
wonderful.
They're
They're
Past lives have a lot to do with our current incarnation. I just think a lot of people get confused with all of it and they don't bring that energy into their current life. So it's called past life regression. It's real, it's wonderful. I've done it many times and I've learned so much about myself. I could share one exciting story. I was a witch in a past life. This is very common for a lot of people that are into energy work or that are light workers or empaths in this lifetime. It's just a different vocabulary. So, you can think about witches and like spells and those, type of language. And right now in 2020, we use words like programming and we have more of a computer, modern language. So we're all really just doing the same thing that we were doing in a previous life. It's just more, modernized. So there was a very specific, psychic tarot experience that I had. And there was a noose, around my neck that I was hung, as a witch in a past life. So just one of those things that you feel, and it's not beautiful in the process. But like I said, it gives you a little more clarity on what to do in this life.
No, for sure. I've recently kind of gotten more into past lives with some people on TikTok, and I found out that actually the two cats I have are my familiars from two of my past lives in Salem and New Orleans.
Very cool. Very, very cool. That's more common than what you would think, right? It's what I like to call the cosmic view. It's like you get out of your little self, the ego, and you can understand this cosmic view of what's really going on. And it's a beautiful, show when you understand all these little pieces that are coming together, your animals, the people in your life, friends, family, all of this is there for a bigger reason that you might not be aware of.
Yeah, absolutely. Another question I have for you is like, what is your view on chakras? Do you think that energy can move up to different chakras when certain ones are blocked?
Yes. Chakras is a big one. It's a very vague statement. Chakra just means energy wheel, right? So there's these energy centers in our bodies. There are 7 of them. They are very real, and you have to unblock one before it goes to the next. It works like this. Think of it like a cup. Once you fill one cup, it starts overflowing. So you have to overflow and develop the first chakra before you can develop the second, and so on. So that doesn't mean you could have some radical experience or transformation where all of them are opened up as like a kundalini experience. That's possible as well. What I'm saying is most of the work that people need to do is figuring out where the majority of their energy is stuck in their body. That particular chakra is creating most of the damage as far as the circulation of energy that's transmuting through the irda and the pindala energy channels. Once you figure that out, then you just work on that and everything kind of evenly opens up and starts to flow throughout the rest of the chakras.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Um, Are you familiar with soul fragments and soul fragment retrieval?
Yes, yes, all that stuff is wonderful. This is where you know it just really just depends on your belief system when it comes into stuff like that. Because when you get into fragments and multiple souls and multiple bodies, harnessing multiple souls, all that stuff really just comes to your belief system and what that means. You know, so it's kind of different. You know what the definition is based on what that individual and their belief system is. Like if you believe that there's soul and fragments and that's possible, then that could happen in your life, right? But if you don't believe it, then it's really not possible, sort of thing.
Mhm. Yeah. It's but definitely been a big healing thing for me is getting my soul fragments back from childhood trauma, and it's definitely been helpful.
Awesome.
Awesome.
A really big thing I have had a question about that honestly nobody's been able to answer so far is like how do you get your memories back from all of the lives that you've lived?
You're not supposed to. And that's for a very specific reason. Yeah, it's you are born in this life without those memories for a very, very specific reason. And I could, it's really fun when you get into this kind of stuff because think about it like this. I don't know if you believe in star seeds and different galactic family and things like that, right? So I love this analogy of just like a team. You know, you're this person on the team, right? And you came down here to Earth to report what Earth is all about and what to do, what the people are like, and what we're here to do and learn because you needed this physical body in order to learn it. Those other members of your galactic family don't have a body in order to do this. So you came down here to do it, and you are the chosen one, and you are doing it. Now, if you had all those memories and those abilities of what those you did in your past life, then that would make the experience of Earth very diminishing, and you would come onto Earth with like lasers and stuff, right? And you'd be like, oh, your technology is so primitive, blah blah. You'd be telling everybody what to do. It would take the complete joy and beauty out of human life, which is empathy, unconditional love, and really experiencing the emotions and all the things that make up our human life, right? So it's a beautiful process. It's just like I said, a lot of people just get stuck in that identity, and the more that you can just understand who you truly are and get it away from the body and understand that this is happening multiple times, and what lesson have you not figured out yet that you need to learn in order to move on.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So I found out that my Nana is one of my twin flames. Whenever like one of your twin flames passes away, I guess, do you think that they stay like on Earth as earthbound, or do they typically go into the astral? That might be, I don't know, kind of a weird question, but I'm curious.
It is totally dependent on that individual karma of that soul. So whether they're your twin flame or not, it's still we still have individual karma. Otherwise, we would not incarnate on Earth. So this all depends on their individual karma, which is based on their thoughts, actions, and what they're doing on Earth. Right? They're either occurring more karma or getting rid of it. So it just depends on what they're doing. And so the answer could be anything. Right? They could reincarnate. They could go to the astral plane. They could go to multiple planets. They could go to we can get really caught up in the endless scenarios, which is fun with your imagination. But at the end of the day, I think we just need to focus on like I said, what is that work? Because if you still have that karma, you're just going to go out and lose your body, and you're going to be missing out, and you're just going to have to come right back to do it all over again, whether you're the twin flame or not.
Right. Okay, cool.
Awesome. Well, yeah, no. Well, this is good. No, thank you. Thank you. This is good. Thank you. I'm going to, thank you so much for answering your questions. I'm going to pass the mic over to Beatrice. Beatrice, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Hello. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you taking the time. The mic is yours. I'm all here. If you have a question or just want to share some experiences, I'm all here for you.
It's all right. Recently, I'm like really into the manifestation, law of attraction world, right? And I've been feeling this overwhelming sense of responsibility. Like you always hear, you are in charge, you are in control of your thoughts, and whatever you think is being manifested, every small thing to every big thing you're thinking, right? And yeah, like how do you sort of just let life be? and not get too totally overwhelmed by it all?
That's a great question. We get really caught up into this stuff, and it takes away from what we're really supposed to do. Manifesting is great, and we get, caught up in these exciting words like manifesting and spiritual terms and metaphysical terms, and it's all beautiful and glorious. It's just, if it's taking away from your actual, life, and you're not getting what you want, then it's it's kind of not doing what it's supposed to do. So the simple answer is dig into your passions. I know that's a very vague answer, but what I'm saying is think about the last time that you were really like caught up in the now. Like you were so busy and so passionate about that thing that you were doing that you completely lost track of time and you lost track of everything, right? Whether it was, you're outside in nature, you saw a beautiful mountain or a wild animal or whatever, thing that you're doing with your friends, whatever thing that really encapsulates your consciousness, that really makes you feel that most loving presence. That's the secret. That's what we need to be putting more of our energy into and revolve our life around that, because that's the vehicle that's going to get you manifesting. That's the thing that's going to propel you into higher consciousness all around.
Yeah, I kind of get that, like this whole idea of just sort of going with what you're passionate about and following your happiness, because that would just like create more like happier thoughts, right? But yeah, I was just wondering, like, how do you also like do the things that you kind of have to do? Like, I've just started a YouTube channel myself, bit of a shameless plug here. And I was just wondering, like, you got to do certain things that you don't like to do, but we kind of have to do in order to like get what our passions done, like editing, for instance, and all of this different stuff, right? So how do we do that in like a conscious way? We're able to like enjoy the process of like washing the dishes or whatever.
So I think you're asking, yeah, just more about like the mundane things and the not the exciting things, and that's just a part of life. There's a good old saying when it comes to spirituality, and that's chop the wood and carry the water. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. It's a very popular proverb or saying that's very old, and the saying is, what do you do after enlightenment, right? What do you the common question is the disciples there and the master is there, right? And he's going up to the master who's a completely enlightened being, and he's asking the same question as you're asking, and he's like, the simple answer is chop the wood and carry the water. After you're enlightened, after you have all of these things, and even if you think you're spiritual, you're not spiritual, or if you're woke or whatever, it's like you still have to chop the wood and carry the water. You still have to eat food. You still have to drink water like everybody else and do what everybody else is doing. That doesn't mean you're some, special thing, that you're exemplified. So it's something that we have to bring more consciousness into that and more mindfulness into that. A lot of people are not doing those things consciously at all. At the end of the day, it comes back to meditation, and what that word means is single pointed focus. So even when you're editing, even when you're eating, even when if you're doing those things and it's not bringing joy to you, I edit a lot of videos, trust me, and I've made a lot of different kind of YouTube videos, and there's some videos that I'll never make again because I just don't like editing for 6 hours out of the day. There's other things that I got to do with my life that I want to enjoy doing, right? So if you're feeling that force, like you have to do something, that's your ego 100%. So I just want to tell you that as just a little heads up.
All right, yeah, definitely. Not sort of letting the ego take charge. And do you have any tips like on how to sort of connect to the present moment and not have it having to be like a big yoga session or like a big meditation session, and it just be something you ease into your day, kind of?
Yes, I'm big on affirmations and conscious language. I'm really big on that observer, witness mode that you can get into where you're just analyzing yourself. And when you get caught in that place where you feel stuck or you're not in that loving place, then just circle back to your affirmations. I have a big tool belt full of all those kind of goodies, and wherever I'm feeling a little off, I know what to pull out in order to bring balance back into my life, whether I'm stuck at some corporate job doing what I hate or whatever. Like you can be in a prison cell, and still be in that nirvana mindset and that beauty and that loving presence.
Yeah, and like the fact that you're sort of doing what you're passionate about and what you enjoy, it comes off on screen, right? Like you can't really like fake that, and you can't like really fake that like ability to just sort of like connect to the present moment and just be like authentically there, right? So yeah. No, I totally get it. I'm also wondering, have you ever like analyzed your dreams or done any of that like sort of stuff?
Oh yeah, every single night. I'm the person that, my dreams and stuff are so active. It's like not sleeping for me. Like I do so much in the 8 hours or whatever that I'm sleeping that it's not really sleep for me because I'm doing so much work in the astral realms. And I'm doing a lot of work outside of my body. You can call it, lucid dreaming, astral projection, that kind of stuff. We are multi-dimensional beings, and the more you get comfortable with your dream space and you start, contacting beings and past lives and family members and all kinds of things and lessons will be shown to you through that astral realm that you really can't entertain or you can't really do on this physical realm. So yeah, it's been a blessing and a curse because I wake up exhausted, honestly, because I really don't get that quality rest that I should get. I really get caught up in my dream space a little bit too much.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I was wondering, I've been studying social work for a while. It's been like something that I've been studying a lot. And it's sort of like, how do you deal with having like two different passions or having multiple different interests, but still being able to like infuse them into one, like being one sort of direction, right?
Yes, very common. I'm a Vata body type in Ayurveda. It's very common to have multi facets of your life, and it's just everyone's different. So for me, it works and it's smooth, and I can handle it, and I have a lot of irons in the fire, as they say. But it's not for everybody. It's really not for everybody. So it just depends on your personality and what you're in tune with, and you have to work with what vehicle the method itself that works for you. So a lot of people are trying to juggle a lot of things and they're just going to, fail because it's not their personality type. So first you have to get into, personality and really discover yourself and ask yourself how you learn, what type of learner are you? And then that's going to help you and kind of, a lot of people don't even like to read books and they're more visual learners. I myself am more of an experiential learner. I learned way more my first year out of high school, traveling and stuff than I did sitting there in the classroom all those years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really interesting because we're all just so unique at the end of the day, and it's kind of like this whole thing of getting into like an abundance mindset and thinking that there is like enough money, there's enough different things out there to sort of support everyone, and there's enough like jobs out there. You know what I'm kind of trying to get to say there, like yeah, definitely, and not getting so lost in like sort of mentality of having to do something you don't like to get someplace that you want to get to. And yeah, it's definitely made a lot more sense for me.
It's also just programming. That's the best thing I can say to help you right now, because the programming of what you think the word abundance means is different for everybody, right? So the word abundance doesn't have to be $1 million. I think we're very much programmed in this hustle, you got to do it all kind of mentality, and like a lot of people get stuck in that trap, and that necessarily doesn't mean abundance. A lot of people have YouTube channels and have all of these things, and then they stop after a year because it's not what they really love to do, or they go to that thing and they really take on a new job or a new relationship, and then another year blows by and that's not who they really want to be with, right? So again, it comes back to action, right? That's what we're here to do. It's called karma. It's called karma yoga. You have to do this in direct action. It doesn't happen in your mind. You have to really go play life and do the things and use your hands and go actually do it. And it's a lot of people that are honestly stuck in the fear of not doing it, just living behind a screen. That's what I see in 2020.
Definitely. Wow, that was a real wake up call for me. Thank you so much for answering all my questions. Yeah, no, I really appreciate this, and I really appreciate your channel. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for calling in, Beatrice. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much again. Looks like we got Peter calling in. Peter, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you are there, you can just unmute your microphone and I can pass it over to you, brother. I don't know if you can hear me or not. You're in the Zoom meeting there. So if you just want to ask questions, you first have to unmute your microphone and then you are good to go. And those of you that are just now joining the live stream, the Zoom meeting is live still. We're going to have time for a few more callers, so please don't hesitate. Join the Zoom call. You know, there's a lot going on right now in 2020. As you can tell, there's a big misconception when it comes to this Great Awakening and why everything is happening right now. There's a lot going on this, behind the scenes that you might not be aware of. So please just know that your questions are helping all of us. This is really fun to get more of a dialogue going. This is exactly why I created the channel, and I want to just continue doing this. So please don't be afraid. The Zoom call is going to be live for a little bit longer. So I'm going to keep the phone lines open right now. Again, in the description of this video, you will find the link to the Zoom call. All you have to do is click on that, and that will bring you over to the Zoom page, and we can go from there. So for those of you that are, new to the spiritual awakening and you're just navigating this path, there's a lot happening behind the scenes. That's what I want to talk about, right? You notice what's on the mainstream news, you'll notice what's going on in the current consciousness, right? And that's the shift that I'm talking about, like the collective, like the priorities change, right? You can think about slavery, think about what's happening with the Black Lives Matter movement, think about these, things with the collective consciousness that changes, right? And you're like, wait a minute, slavery's not okay, right? And it's all of a sudden everybody's okay with that. When 100 years ago, it was a very normal thing. This is just one of many examples of the evolution of the soul, the consciousness. That's when I talk about when you hear the word shift. Think about this circle. That's what it is. Put that picture in your mind of a circle. And what we're doing is we are ascending, right? You've heard the term the age of Aquarius. You've heard the golden age. There's many labels that we can put on this, and right now that's exactly what we're doing. We are ascending. We are on the cusp of that circle, right on the about 40-degree mark, on the halfway point of the lowest part of that circle. And in yoga, this is called the Kali Yuga. We're getting into the Dwapara Yuga. This is a 4 parts, right? This is a very long 12,000 plus year cycle that we are tapping into, right? And this is the beautiful consciousness that's happening right now on planet Earth. There is nothing new. We are all just remembering. I love that saying. When you get stuck and you feel like there's so much pressure in your life, just remember that it's like you're only remembering who you truly are. There's nothing new here. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about you getting in tune with higher consciousness and how you're going to do that. A lot of people get confused with this stuff, and I really want to be here for you. So please don't hesitate to call in, everybody. The line is live right now, and again, I'm going to have time for about a few more callers. So you just let me know. Hey Peter, are you there? Yeah, I can hear you, brother. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you? Is my?
No, you're good. Go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Hey, so I had a question. I guess. Sorry, I'm at work. I'm about to start driving here. I had a question, and it was. Okay, so it was about ascension. And there's different people talking about it, and they're saying different things. For example, there's this guy named Gary Peter Carlson. He uses a pendulum, and he does soul reports.
Yeah.
And he talks about we came down here to this earth, if you're a starseed or a wanderer or whatever, to possibly experience either individual ascension or planetary ascension, whichever happens. There's this lady called Florbra, and she talks about a pole shift, which she says is happening right now. I've seen lots of people talk about this too. It's very interesting. So a pole shift is happening, and which is the Earth is going to change to a new Earth, which would also sounds like planetary ascension. But she says this is happening, and after it does happen, right, there's going to be destruction and everything like that. But after this does happen, aliens, other beings are going to be here. Planet Nibiru is in the area. Other beings, like they call them the Naga. I don't know, cat aliens, lion aliens. but I guess none of that really matters. So she talks about that, or is it neither? Are we just? Is it possible that we move into some technocratic, authoritarian control grid? You know, with chips in us and AI. Um, is ascension happening no matter what? Oh well, wait. There was this other guy who also talked about ascension, and does not everyone make ascension, or does everyone make ascension? And he talked about not everyone making it, but we would all that the people that do make it will have crystal bodies, and the technology that we have will just be so incredible, so mind-blowing, that we will live long lives. There'll be no more hunger, no more war, no more disease. It sounds awesome, and I'm really into it. I will stop blabbing, and I'll let you talk.
It's great. It's great. No, there's we'll dissect that. That's great. You know, there's about 3 or 4 questions in there. Really good questions. You know, the answer is yes to all of them. To be simple about it, first of all, and those are just different, you know, perspectives from the people as far as interpreting what, you know, that means. Just like when I interpret things, it's all the same to me. I agree with everything as far as what you just described. So let's start first with the polarity shift. Yes, that's happened. Yes, it's a mass collective consciousness. At the same time, no, not everybody is going to experience that shift. Now, the best analogy I can give you is like the rapture in the Christian sense, right? It's like this thing is going to happen. Everyone's going to just ascend up to heaven, right? Everyone has that, you know, mind, that image stuck in their mind. And that's exactly what this is. And what's happening is a lot of people are ready and willing, that have done the inner work, that have done their karma, that have really focused on themselves, that are purified. Those are the ones that are definitely going to experience that energy first and lead the way. At the same time, there's going to be people that are stuck in the 3D, stuck in the fear, that are just going to live there their whole life. You know, it's real. And meaning, look at the movie The Matrix, right? That documentary, right? It's in there too. You know, there is definitely the side that I'm talking about, you know, which is the man, the government, whatever, the elite, whatever you want to call them, that are creating, you know, that 3D, that are creating the fear, that are perpetuating the problem, and they don't want people to wake up. So that's real. It's very much, you know, happening. At the same time, that doesn't mean that you, the individual, can't wake up yourself and ascend to the fifth dimension, and then you're good, then you're the leader, then you're helping everybody on your own way. So the answer is yes to all those questions. Now, when you get into the beautiful fantasy about, you know, the world and the healing and everybody living long life and all that stuff, that's very real. It's just what I was talking about earlier with the Yuga system. It's not going to happen, you know, 100 years from now. This is going to happen thousands of years from now, and it's something that is, you know, very different. Yeah, you're not going to experience that in your lifetime. You might live to 150 or so if you're lucky. You know, that's where we're going to cap out right now in our timeline, because again, you have to look at this from a much more broad view, the cosmic view. I'm talking about 24,000 year cycles, okay? And at the highest of that cycle, it's called the Sat Yuga. And yes, everybody's enlightened. Everybody has, you know, perfect health. Everybody lives for thousands of years, and it's a completely different reality than what we're experiencing right now, which is the polar opposite shift, the polar opposite of that energy, which is the other side of that circle. This is why we see so much darkness, so much bad stuff, you know, happening right now in the world with pedophiles and all the craziness. You know, there's a lot of dark stuff happening right now in our world for a reason, and it's because the collective consciousness is so low, okay? And that is going to continue to be low until more people wake up, more people get to this fifth dimension and bring other people on board. Now, again, that doesn't mean that there's going to be some stragglers, right? There's always going to be those people kicking and groaning, and you know who I'm talking about, right? Like the people that are just so stuck in their ways that it's like they're just going to be there their whole life, and probably even multiple lifetimes after that.
Yeah. Are are there going to be aliens showing themselves in our lifetime, you think?
Yes, 100%. And they are already doing it, and they've been doing it for a long time. It's just happening more rapidly because of technology, meaning it's been happening pretty much at the same rate. It's just now technology and smartphones are capturing it, and, you know, putting videos on social media and that sort of thing. So, you know, it's been happening for a very long time, and our government is, you know, obviously working with it with the CIA, blah, blah, blah. To me, this is very normal stuff, and it's been going on for a long time. the technology that they've been using, all of that stuff is very real. And the cool part is you can access that too. You see what I mean? Like all of this stuff that people think is in Area 51 or blah, blah, blah is available to everybody. It's not like some special, thing. It's up to us to channel that energy and get through all of our own gunk, so we can get through and actually meditate to access this level of consciousness.
Will it be mainstream, you think? Will there be like cat-faced people on TV going, hey, we're here to, or just wanted to say hi to you guys. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. Look at, dude, even right now in 2020, we have Elon Musk planning to take us all to Mars. We have people already unloading on Earth. There are so many things happening right now. Like I said, behind the scenes, different technologies that people have no idea about, and we are living in such a controlled world. It's not even funny. Just think about fossil fuels in general and the dependency on that, and how many hydrogen inventions there's been that have been completely brainwashed, or health and diet with the same thing. How many people like Dr. Sebi and all the other people that have been completely murdered, right? Because of their truth, because they cured everything. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. So I live in a very different reality than most people because of this reason. My belief system is radically different than most people. And I honestly can't talk to most people because they just give me judgments. You know what I mean? Because they just simply can't own up to my truth. They can't experience it themselves because it's so far from their belief system. And there's no judgment from me to them. I'm just giving you an example of like how far, we really are from what's really going on, let alone getting into, Atlantean technology and this, plasma energy and stuff like that. It's like we got a lot of stuff. How about let's just cure world hunger? You know what I'm saying? That could literally happen in a week with Elon Musk alone. You know what I mean? Just that guy alone could do it.
But it's not going to happen. I mean, the technology is obviously there. The military supposedly has all this, replicators, frequency generator technology. I mean, I don't see why this won't happen. I really hope for that to happen.
There was a recent thing, you can go look it up, where Elon Musk talked about this, and he even tried to do it. And what it was I forgot what state it was, but somewhere in the Midwest, just 10 square miles of solar panels could power the entire United States. And Tesla, he had the plans drawn up, he had everything ready to go, and he was like, yo, I'll give you free power for the rest of your life. Everybody in America could have free power with 10 square miles of solar panels. Think about that, right? I got solar panels on this right now. I'm solar powered right now during this live stream. See what I mean? Everything I do is solar powered, right? So what I'm just giving you I'm giving you an example where that has already happened, okay? He straight up said, all I need is 10 square miles of solar space, and I will power the entire country. And do you think that's ever going to happen? Of course not. Of course not. They make way too much money off energy, and they have keeping people in control with cell phones and chargers and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, this is some deep stuff.
From a patriarchal system to a matriarch system, and is it for the better, you think, where we're headed?
That's a good question. I do think we have shifted based off technology, and people, just to use Elon Musk and use him as an example, because people, he's in the spotlight, and or Kanye West, going for president, right? It's like these celebrities and these people that get attention become the main person on the stage instead of real educated people, right? Or even the political system itself. It's not like we actually vote for real people anymore. It's all just happening in front of our eyes. There's nothing you can do about it. So what we have to understand is, yes, that is shifting. And at the same time, we can't give our energy to it, right? Like, you can't give your energy to anything outside of yourself that isn't creating that change. Everything that you need is within you. Once you shift your energy, once you get your Kundalini online, once your third eye is open, that mirror consciousness is real and people wake up. I'm telling you, I was very frustrated when I started my, spiritual journey, and I was very angry at all the things going on in life. And I had to take all of that energy and channel it within myself and meditate for, longer periods of time, because otherwise you just become a very destructive person, and the point I'm getting is, you have to create that change within yourself, and then it happens on the main stage of the world. So yes, I see a lot of dark things happening on the stage, and I talk about them, on my YouTube channel here, and I want to, enlighten people and bring awareness to it. At the same time, we can't give it energy. We have to steer, people in more of a positive direction that's going to bring energy within us that is going to create that positive change.
Yeah. Do you, Gary Peter Carlson talks about the reptilian souls, right? Everyone in power, pretty much the whole world, it has a reptilian soul or a whether whichever species they are, draconian or lizard. Supposedly Donald Trump has a lizard soul, and he's evil, but he's not as evil as a draconian soul. But anyways, he says he did his little pendulum thing, and he says that after Trump leaves, whatever the heck that's going to be, I'm not saying anything about Trump. Just he says that that we will actually, the people will actually will elect an actual human souled, goodness to honest, human being as a leader, and things will get better after that. That's just a little prediction he gave. Wouldn't that be cool? I guess.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I don't get into that stuff too much, just because it really takes away our free will. We can get caught up into those scenarios, and it's great, to get your vision on and to start using your imagination at the same time. We just have to circle back to free will and what's really happening. There's a lot of predictions out there, and we don't want to give our energy into what's really not going to happen. So I am optimistic. I agree with what you're saying, and sure, there's a lot of dark energy. As far as the reptilian thing goes, think of it like this: there is a lot, all the people, all the elite, all the evil cabal, all that dark stuff is very, very old bloodlines. Okay, I'm talking about very ancient bloodlines that have been tied, to the Rockefellers, and even before then, a lot of deep bloodlines that have been on this earth for a very long time. Okay, you can trace it back, and the thing is, that's what's happening with the reptilian stuff. So it doesn't have to be all negative, it doesn't mean they're, completely negative people. It's just what happens is with those old ancient bloodlines is they haven't woken up to this modern, beautiful peace and this beautiful fifth dimensional heart-centered consciousness. Like I said, like the whole reason why I started this stream, they are keeping people in the 3D. They are keeping people in the darkness, for a reason. And that's why it's tied to the mainstream media. It's tied to the food system. It's tied to everything. And the more we can break away from that and create our own energy and create the solution, that's what I'm talking about when I say the new earth. Because I know people in my reality that, don't have social media or anything that are creating that new earth right now. And that's what we have to do. Break away from the system, break away from those, money as a whole, break away from the food system, break away from all of these things that are creating that dependency,
Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I get into some of that weird stuff that makes me a little nervous. Especially the bad stuff where it's like, destruction is coming. We gotta. I definitely understand what you're saying. How that stuff can take away your free will, and I'm trying not to get too down.
Oh no, it's all good, brother. I know exactly what you're talking about, man. You get excited about the awareness because you have to expose them, right? That's always step one. Like I told you, I was in that phase for a long time, and you'll get past that. And what I'm saying is, you're a truck driver. If I were you, I'd be playing affirmations all day. I'd be playing positive frequencies. I would be blasting things on that, intercom. I would be really uplifting my consciousness 24/7. I was in a job in a grocery store for a long time, and I've been working corporate things for a long time, and I had to, change the way I think. That's what this is all about, restructuring your mind. So what I'm saying is what I'm saying is the point I'm getting to, okay, is whatever you're putting your attention on, you are becoming. So you're absorbing that energy, you're absorbing it. So that's why I talk about, like, I don't make videos about the crazy, government stuff for a reason. I talk about it just a little bit and then I channel it to something positive because it's just like Americans. It's just like another gossip, drama show on HBO. It's like people are just getting caught up in the drama. It's not really serving anybody, when you talk about it, right? It's one thing to talk about it and to be educated and spread awareness. And it's another to actually, love everybody and create that positive change. So no judgment here. I'm just telling you at the end of the day, you have that time, right? You have that space. So really focus on your inner work and uplifting your consciousness. And trust me, reptilians, dude, none of that stuff comes even close to the power that is already within you that you are. Not even close, dude. That's why they're so upset. That's why you see all this dark stuff happening. They know the power of all of us together when we are woke and our third eye is open. They understand that. That's why they play all this Mark of the Beast stuff and the chips and the fluoride in the water and all. Dude, that stuff isn't free. You know how much money it costs to like get fluoride and like get all that stuff and do all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like it's happening for a reason. You know what I mean? So think about it like that. Like you are so powerful, and a lot of this stuff is meant to take away your power, and that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah. You got any? Do you have any recommendations for another step for water? I know you say that best way to get water is from the spring out of the earth. I don't have any of that, but so I put my water through a charcoal carbon filter that filters out fluoride and everything. Is there another step I could do to it that will make it even better for me, since water has memory and all that?
Definitely. Yeah, you want to get yourself some shungite. That stuff is powerful, and it is a very natural filter as well. Throw a little piece of shungite in there. And the next thing is, I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Emoto's work, Messages in Water. He proved, consciousness is real through water. And like you said, the memory goes through and transmit through water. So put positive affirmations, put, beautiful stickers, maybe the word love, something positive, on a piece of tape or anything, and put that on your jug. I do that for all my water containers, and a little Om symbol or, a sacred geometry, something that's going to, uplift that vibration of the water. It will take on that imprint of whatever symbol or word that you're putting onto it. And then that, again, once you put it in your body, will help uplift your consciousness.
You think you could do the same thing to your juices, like juices in a mason jar that you juiced for juice fasting?
Definitely do it for the juice as well. They're all on my containers. Juice itself from vegetables and fruit already is very high vibrational, and it still is. It's what I call structured water, right? That's what we're talking about right now. The difference between tap water, which is dead and flat, and structured water is it's holding that vibration. So juice and vegetable juice and like fruit juice is already structured water. That's like 80% of my life is, coconut water and juices and smoothies and stuff for a reason, because you're getting around the filtration as a whole. You're actually getting it straight from nature, and there's completely structured living water right inside that coconut or, in that carrot or whatever you're juicing. So, yes, it's going to help if you throw the word love on it, but this is mainly a technique for just water.
Yeah. Are you afraid? Okay, I live in the state of, I don't care if I say this. I live in the state of Illinois, and it's freezing in the winter. Do you have any sort of concern for me being there for catastrophe reasons, power outage reasons? Should I kind of worry about it, and I kind of go away from that,
Yeah, I would just say, everybody listening and watching, it doesn't matter whether it's Illinois or, California. I'm in California right now. It's like, we just got to get out of the cities. That's really what it is. You just have to.
Farmland.
Good. If you're already in the country, in the farmland, that's great. That's all you really have to think about. The majority of the energy that's coming, from 5G and a lot of the stuff, the chaotic stuff is happening in the city. The bigger the city, the more chaotic the energy. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't want to, tell people that it's, going to kill you or anything. I'm just telling you, obviously, the more you get in tune with nature, the more you get outside of the city, the more that natural abundance, the more your consciousness just comes alive. So a lot of this stuff has been created, and I call it Babylon. It's a very man-made world we're living in. So when you get outside of the man-made world into nature and really involve and encompass yourself in nature, a lot of those energy centers in your body start to come online, and things start, coming inside. Those feelings come inside you that you've never felt before. So that's what I advise people to do, is get into nature. Definitely.
I don't mean to like put you on the spot with some of these, questions that I have, so I apologize if that's the case.
No, you're all good. I love it. That's exactly what I do. I love being put on the spot. I actually prefer it. It creates more authenticity for the show. I don't want to. I never have anything scripted, or I never do anything like that. So I really appreciate you calling in, Peter, and I appreciate your time.
I appreciate you. Thanks.
Awesome. This is great, everybody. There is a lot of energy happening right now, and I got time for one more caller. Okay, I got time for one more person. If you want to join in, looks like Mike. Are you there, brother? Hey, I can hear you. Are you there, Mike?
Hello?
Yes, yeah, I'm here. Go
Can you hear
for it.
me?
Yes, brother, I can hear you. Ask away.
What's up, Brendan? It's Michael Heyman. This is the second time I've been able to get through and say hello. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, brother. So good. So happy to be alive. It's a beautiful day. Happy Friday. Happy blessings. There's just so much energy coming through, and everything's all happening. And it's just fun to see so many people waking up right now,
I agree. And that was a very rhetorical question. I knew exactly how you were doing it. I just love how you say it. You're great, man. I've been following you since you were in Hawaii, and you've really, really blessed my life, and I can't thank you enough. And then I am calling in because this COVID has been the biggest blessing of my life. I've been able to do a lot of shadow work. I've been following you every day. I've been reaching out in other avenues as well, and really trying to set that example and become that person and really walk the walk. But it seems like maybe once a week or once every other week, I'm going to have a day of depression, and just like, it's like, man, where did it go? Where's that spirit? Where's that drive? Where's that energy? Why do I feel like crap? And it's just so frustrating. And another thing is, I've been trying to launch this business, and it's all about helping others. That's the whole concept of the business. And I'm stuck, and it's driving me absolutely crazy. Like literally. So I've got two problems. Depression smacks me upside the face every once in a while. And what do you recommend with that? And then, of course, how do I get to where you were when you were like, I don't do technology. I don't. And now look at you.
Oh, dude, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Yes, this is real. Yeah. So first part, depression is something I've had and suffered from a long time, and I want to first of all flip the lid on depression for you, and just tell you right now that it's a very positive thing. When I talk about meditation, when I tell people to go within, what better way to do that than depression? And I've been in ruts, dude, where I couldn't get out of bed for days, like literally not able to eat, not able to do anything, because I was taking on the energy of the world. I was tapping into the deep suffering that is happening in the world, and I was so depressed, man. Just me thinking about people eating animals will send me into a depression that will last for a very long time. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing, because here's what happens. If you in your belief system think that depression is bad or any negative quote unquote emotion is bad, then what's happening is you are going to develop spiritual bypassing. And it is so common. And I just want a lot of people to not go that route, meaning you have to go through these emotions. You have to go through. The only way out is through, my brother. And this is so powerful. Okay. And
Contents really hits me. So
I know. It's different. It's different from, saying it and doing it. And like I told you, I've been in my bed for days, I'm not able to get up. And I don't want my loved ones to see me like that. And I feel bad for it. And I get caught in this thing. And what I'm telling you is that's your higher self. That's the universe showing you something that you haven't looked at yet. In fact, you've been skipping it for so long that the universe is keep pointing you at this thing and you're still not looking at it. So,
too. I know exactly what it is. I've been trying to get off of pharmaceutical medication now for a couple of years. I quit drinking alcohol 6 years ago, quit opiates, cocaine, all of that stuff. And I take 2 different medications, but literally here I get, source water or spring water, and I've got my Noble Elite Shungite with a nice pyramid in my glass jar, and I've got Organite all over. I'm making Organite right now as we speak. I would love to send you some, so I actually put my email there for you. If you want to shoot me your address, I've got a couple of gifts I would love to give you. I can't tell you how much you've changed my life, and I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you so much.
We create our own reality, and I'm sure you understand this. I mean, it's not always specifically literal. I'm going to win the lottery tomorrow, and then I go and buy tickets and win the lottery tomorrow like that. I'm not saying it's not possible, but you know what I'm saying. We do create our own reality. And to think depression is bad, it literally hit me that I'm creating that depression as a negative.
Yep.
When all I need to do is recognize, okay, I'm feeling down right now. Why am I feeling down? What can I do about it? And it's okay.
Yes. Not only that, I want to tell you what's happening biologically, like your brain. Okay, depression has already happened. Like the chemical response in your brain has already happened before you actually feel it, right? Like the event has already happened in your life before you actually feel the quote unquote depression. Okay. So it's really not the depression itself. It's the event that happened. Like you already talked about with your, you switching your lifestyle, right? And like I talked about the higher self guiding you to this thing that you're overlooking. Okay. So that's what this is all about. Now, the depression is literally just you being in that meditative state. The higher self is giving you time, giving you space for you to analyze this, get into that contemplative state and really work through it. And if you don't work through it, guess what? You might feel good for a day or two, and then the depression is going to come right back. So this is very real. And when you flip the lid like that and welcome it, it's amazing how many transformations will come on and those upgrades will happen because you start embracing those resistant things in your life. And again, most people are spiritual bypassing. No joke here. And I'm not judging. I'm just saying that. Yeah.
Growth comes from, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I know that's where growth comes, it comes through trial and error and suffering. And, you can't grow without going through the pain. And I recognize that, but it's like, I don't know. It's just been a rough couple of days. My wife's disabled and has a chronic pain that's nicknamed the suicide disease. She has complex regional pain syndrome. So I'm an empath. So here again, another reason why I've got crystals surrounding me and drinking the best live water I can and detoxing every day. And my motto is an attitude of gratitude, a positive perspective, doing the next right thing. And that's how I live. And then of course, like I said, I'll have a day, maybe sometimes 2 or 3 days where I'm just like, I feel like a loser, like the worst father, like the worst son, like, I'm not suicidal or anything, but it's just like, life sucks right now. And it's like, this isn't even me.
Yep. Nope. I get it, dude. I've been there so many times. I can't even explain it to you. And I know a lot of people see me on camera and stuff, and they think I'm positive and think all this stuff. And I talk about all this stuff, you know, because you have to get through it again. And a lot of people think spirituality is just all light and love and these beautiful concepts, and it's great on the surface. But when you actually do the work, it's not comfortable. Nobody said, you know, it's going to be easy. So I have to condone you for facing it. You know, first of all, congratulate yourself for facing this and owning up to it, because that's step one. You know, you have to have the courage. You already said it. You're an empath. You're taking on other people's energy. You're taking on a lot more things, and you can't do the work of a village. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm talking about with our environment. You know what I mean? Like, our environment does not dictate what you're talking about here. You know, think about our beautiful chemistry. We have the biology as our ancestors, right? Around the fire with like 30 people, you know, everybody, all your brothers and sisters, your family, your cousins, everybody's everybody. We don't live that life anymore. You know, we have a very different, you know, modern structure of what life is.
2 decades where I was able to take this, that, or the other to change my feelings, and so I didn't have to do any work for that. I just took a pill or, you know, had a drink. So
Exactly. That's the Band-Aid.
breathing, meditating, wow,
Yeah.
blessing, just
Yeah.
so much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
Exactly, brother. Exactly. And that's the gateway. That's the key. Let your breath, you know, be the key to all of this, because that's really where it's at. And thank you for making that discovery again, because I know a lot of people are in that same boat right now, you know, listening and watching, because this is powerful stuff. And that thing is what I call the Band-Aid approach. You know, it might be cool to throw that Band-Aid on, but eventually that thing's going to come off, you know, and are you going to rip it off? Right? Are you going to rip it off and have that ouch, you know, feeling? Are you that person that's like, oh, slow and just like one little Band-Aid at a time? The point is, right, it's got to come off. So why are you even putting it on?
That right now, remember, don't beat yourself up as well. If you're trying to quit, if you're trying to stop, like, and you make a mistake, just be like, oh crap, I screwed up today. I'm on it tomorrow. Like, literally, that's the only way. I went through rehab 3 times. I partied my ass off for 20 years, so I had a good run. It was great, but that's not who I want to be anymore. That's not who I am. You know, I am happy. I am a loving father and husband and person, and I genuinely want everyone around me to be happy and to know that they are loved and they're cherished, no matter who they are, what color they are, where they're from, any of that stuff. You know.
Exactly. No, and again, all I can do is congratulate you, you know, for doing that work, because that's really what people need to hear more than ever right now, because nobody's going to do that work for you. Nobody's going to, you know, make you drink the water, right? You can only lead the horse to the water. So that's what this is all about. So the fact that you know, follow through with that step, that's all you have to do. And guess what? That depression is going to come again. See what I mean? Life happens. See, I mean, life happens, brother. It's just a part of it, you know. So the more you can accept it.
My wife just left for the weekend, and I'm like feeling it come on, and I'm like, man, I ain't call up Robert.
It's real. There's so much happening right now, and that's the thing is, so use this as the time to focus on you, right? This is a beautiful time to focus on you.
Beautiful art that's going to help people, and it's going to hopefully help my family make a little extra money that we really need. So I am doing it, and I am, you know, consciously making an effort to go out of my way to compliment every stranger, every employee I see. I walk through Walmart and I literally will spend 10 minutes thanking employees for stocking the shelves, because I want them to know that their job is valued. You know, and I go to the Greenbelt when I have some time to go enjoy myself. I take an extra bag of trash, you know, to fill it up. And I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm saying this because it makes me feel good to do the right thing. And
Beautiful.
so,
Beautiful, brother.
when you get that frustration, it's like, where'd it go? What did I do? Why am I going through this? You know?
Totally. And you have every right to feel that way. And that's a good, you know, that extra energy is called rajastic energy, and it's meant to invigorate you. It's meant to break the cycle. You know, you can think about like your patterns and those things that you get stuck in with those thoughts and those repeating thoughts that are tied to the subconscious, right? So that energy is very necessary to help break that cycle, and it's giving you an opportunity to do something new. So I know when I get caught in those places, and I go as deep as I possibly can to really analyze what that thing is, and then when I discovered it, I go right back out into the world and I do something, I go to the library or go do something very active, go ride a bike, go do something, to bring your energy back into your body. That's all. That's the best tip that I can give too, because a lot of people just get trapped in the mind, and you just bring that energy back into your body.
Blessed to have been able to overcome the addictions and to really truly have a desire to be a better person. And I follow Christ's example. I'm very open-minded. I'm going to buy an autobiography of a yogi, thanks to you and your recommendation. I haven't yet, but I am planning on that, and I'll manifest that into my life. Man, I just want to say thank you so much. And if there's just one last, I know I asked 2 questions. Maybe you can make this one short. Or, of course, if there's anything else you wanted to share on depression, please do. But I'm ready to launch this business. I've got, domain name, Instagram, Facebook, all of it. I've got the products. I've got 1,000 shirts. I've got everything I need. But I can't get myself to grab my laptop and go and start putting it together. I'm afraid. It's like there's a wall there that's blocking me.
Yep, I totally get it. I've been there too many times, and it's again the constructs of the mind. So you don't know until you know. Like all these ideas that you had that are great, and you like you said, you've made the steps, you've done the thing, and there's always that one last step that's going to throw you over the edge, and that's the heart. That's the leap of faith. Doesn't matter, whether it's the new job, new thing, new girlfriend, whatever. It's like that leap of faith. And the truthful, honest answer is you don't know what's going to happen, and you have to go into this knowing that. And the cool part about that is, and hopefully this will give you a little more excitement, is you don't know because the universe is always going to give you more. The universe is always going to give you more abundance, more things than you can ever imagine in the first place. So why would you want to set the limitation of that thing that you're manifesting anyway? Why don't you just do the opposite and just practice and take action and get yourself out of the way? Let that universe energy come through. The universe is going to do all the power, the marketing, and make you, powerful as far as a business, because as long as it's in with the highest good of all, you're good. Everything's going to work out.
Awesome. Yeah, and I truly believe that. I really do. I just have that, like I said, I have that block. It's just like I bought the book from Brendon Burchard, How to Not Procrastinate, and I've literally procrastinated reading that book for 2 years. So, I'm a freaking weird Libra, Year of the Dragon, Bicentennial, raised Mormon, Latter-day Saint.
It's all good, brother. It's all good. This has been awesome.
Help others, and that's my mission. So
thank you. Yes,
what you do, and I'm going to continue to support you as much as I possibly can. And anyone listening, I encourage you to become part of the team on Patreon. There's literally, it's nice to have the updates of when the calls are happening live. There's a lot of meditations. Robert makes amazing frequency music, which has really helped me as far as sleeping and having better moods and all that stuff. So yeah, thanks a million times. Thanks.
Right back.
If you want, shoot me your info on my email, and I want to send you a couple of gifts that I've been putting together for you.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I will definitely do that. Thank you again, Mike, for opening up to you about that. I know it's a vulnerable thing, and I just want to appreciate you for taking the time, brother.
My pleasure. Have a beautiful week.
You too.
You too.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Awesome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been great. Look forward every single week. I'm going to be jumping on these live streams, and we're going to be getting together, hopping on the Soul Line. I'm going to open it up, and I just want to thank you for taking the time. Remember who you truly are. Circle back to that infinite consciousness. Circle back to that loving presence which is always within you. All right? I want everybody to know that you are so powerful. This is something way beyond the constructs of the mind. You are not your thoughts. You are not even this body. All right. You are pure infinite consciousness wrapped up in human form. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Until next time, guys, I'm out. Peace.